Thank you, Regina. All the books are in Anzenberger bookstore. So Regina, thank you for letting me show them here, because I couldn't bring them with me. They would be too heavy. So my name is Agnieszka. I'm from Poland. I live in Warsaw, and well, here I'm photographer, and I'm in Sputnik Photos Collective. This is photographers collective. We met each other. We met with other photographers quite a while ago in 2004. It was we were all emerging photojournalists then. That was a workshop for emerging photojournalists from Central Eastern Europe, organized by 7 agencies. We were all happy to be there, and after this workshop we realized we have a lot in common, and we wanted to tell stories together. So after some troubles, we set this collective, and our aim was to work together, to tell stories common for Central Eastern Europe. And the collective exists till now, so this is already a success, and this is the results of these 8 years. We made several projects together. We published several books. Most of them you can see here, and I will talk about them. We also teach. We have started like 2 years ago, and we also try to publish our students' work. This is a newspaper with a magazine with our students' work, and we want to continue also this kind of publishing. So I was talking about the story. This is the first picture of this is really historical. This is 2004. This is me. This is Rafał Mila, who is now a renowned photographer. This is our graphic designer, Ania Nałęcka, who used to work for advertising agency at that time. Of course, everything changed. This is Sputnik photos a year ago, and so we are older, less beautiful, but we still like to work with each other. So I will start with the first project. This is the real book. So this project comes from 2000. We started it in 2006, and that was time when Poland and other Central European countries entered European Union, and everybody in the EU was afraid of a Polish plumber, of cheap labor coming to Britain, to, I don't know, Austria probably, and well, we wanted to show that that these illegal migrants are coming also to our countries, and they are coming from post-Soviet countries mostly, and they have no rights. They are illegal. They don't have visas. They don't have any insurance, and they work really well, almost for free. And anyway, they try to economize, and they try to send money to their families, which are still in their countries. So at the border, the title is about the border, about that these people really live at the border of the, well, let's say, normal society, and we have also the border on the cover. The graphic designer wanted to show this border. We have also a map here. At that time, we were really photojournalists. We wanted to tell the truth. We wanted to share the stories, and we wanted to fight. We still want, but at that time we were, well, younger and more naive. But we wanted to fight against this social injustice as well. So this is also why this book was created. So here we have the countries where the stories come from. Of course, there is Poland, because 3 photographers are from Poland, and we all centered our stories around a huge market, which was once a stadium, and it was constructed just after the Second World War, and in the 80s it was destroyed, and it served as a market, as a really huge market for quite a long time. And this is a very, well, funny story about Masha, about Belarusian woman who makes false alcohol. Fake, well, she was taking some spirit and some, I don't know, some taste and some color, and she was putting it into the real bottles, and then she was distributing. That was her job in Poland. And the story was shot by our friend Jan Brykczyński. And please have a look at this design. We didn't want the book to be glossy and elegant. We wanted it to be like a magazine. We wanted to show real life, and also this design serves to it. This is a story of Masha's family living in Belarus, because she left her family there. She was separated from her husband and her daughter. So one of the photographers went to Belarus, and he made a story about her family in Bobruisk. This is the most boring city in Belarus. This is the same story. This is Masha's husband, who was keen on arms. This is a story on a Georgian woman living in Warsaw. She was also selling goods at this market, at the stadium. I shot this story. And this woman, this Tamariko, her story was really dramatic, because she was in Poland for 8 years then. And she had 2 kids. They were born in Poland already, but they were deported to Georgia because somebody realized that they were with no legal rights in Poland, and they were caught and deported with Tamariko's mother to Poland. But finally, I can tell you that this story has a happy end. She's working now legally, and and her kids are in Poland. They are in Warsaw, and they are at school. So everything is okay. Well, not with everybody from this book, but well, I have contact with her, and it's fine. And this is her family in Georgia. This picture was shot by Justyna Mielnikiewicz, our friend, the Polish photographer who lives in Tbilisi. And that's a nice story about an immigrant from Senegal in Slovenia who wanted to become a professional football player. And this is shot by Manca Juvan from Slovenia. We are covering topics which were really close to us in our neighborhood. And this is also a very nice story from not far from here, from Bratislava. Andrzej Balco from Bratislava was shooting portraits of Ukrainian workers in proximity of Bratislava. They were mostly working in construction sites, and well, he was shooting their portraits. This is also the cover of the book, and he was asking them some questions like, what is your age, where do you come from, what is your wish, and he was asking them to answer these questions near the pictures, and he published this picture with this, well, wishes, with this information. And the last story I wanted to show you is a story by Rafał Milach about also about this market, but by about Vietnamese minority in Warsaw. He had a hero, Lin, who lived in Poland for quite a long time, and he was also with no papers. He was working illegally, and this story was also quite dramatic. And he was in prison for some time. Then he went to France, and I think he's in Poland right now. I don't know how he does, but well, I think now it's more or less okay. But that was also a dramatic story. Okay, so that was our first project, which we made somehow, and sometimes I think it was like a miracle that we did it, because there were well, 8 photographers involved into it, but we and we were this formal registration and stuff. We were NGO, but honestly, we didn't know how to run a collective, and somehow we did it. Somehow we did it. We applied for grants. We got some funding. We had some money left. So this is how we published this little book, and we wanted to continue somehow. So so the next project and the next book I would like to talk about is You. This is the book. So this is the project which was really difficult, because we started it in 2008, and we had already some experience, but we didn't have financing for this project, which is important. And we hoped, of course, that we will find some money, that we will make a big exhibition, that we will publish a book. But in 2008, the crisis came, and well, we realized that maybe we will not end up with a huge exhibition and with a beautiful book. But we realized that we have to really to economize. So finally, we did it. There was an exhibition, and it was shown in several places. And also we had some money, really very little money for the book, and we really wanted to have a book with this project. It was well, we already realized that books are something that remains, that we can have exhibition, and the exhibition will be shown in 3 places, 5 places, or even 10 places, and then it will be forgotten. We can maybe show it on our website or on our personal websites, but the book will stay in the libraries or in the people's houses. Somebody they will buy it, or well, we just wanted to have a book. But of course, books are expensive. So what we decided to do, of course, we decided to make a very small book, and because we really didn't have money, we decided to make it cheap. We made a small book without a cover, and our graphic designer found an envelope like this, and she designed it as a cover of this small book, and we printed 300, and well, it was sold out almost immediately. Maybe also because it was very cheap, because well, it's really a small book. And I wanted to show you a film about the process of making this book. One more thing. There is one more thing I wanted to say before showing the movie. So this is the cover, the envelope, but these post stamps and the address, this is also a part of the design. So this is the book the graphic designer sent to herself. And this is, you see her name, Ania Nałęcka, and her address in Warsaw. You can you can visit her when you are in Warsaw, knowing the address. So this is how we wanted it to work, to be real object. so always when I'm in the bad mood and I'm not sure about the Sputnik photos future, I switch on this short movie and I feel better. Okay, so this is the book about Ukraine. You know it already, and of course, and this is also a group project. So we wanted to make, a group book, but a book consisting of several stories, but also a coherent book. So. But at that time we didn't have a curator. We just had this graphic designer who is still with us and who is really very good. And she and her boyfriend and our photographer Rafał Milach, they made selection to this book. And so this is the first story, the story about Black Sea by Rafał Milach. This story also ended up with a separate book. Here is the book. First he made it on a blurb, so it was really self-published, and right now it just came out. So it's very fresh, and he sells it as a collector's object with a print and in a beautiful box. You can see it on the at the stand. This is a story of coal miners, of legal and illegal coal mining in Donetsk region, shot by Philip Singer, photographer from Czech Republic. And there are also some short citations of Ukrainian writers in this book or booklet. This is still Philip Singer. And here is a short story about two old twins who were fans of Marshall, of one of the Ukrainian marshals of the Second World War. Here is a story on students, also in the East. And Justyna Mielnikiewicz, beautiful story about Crimea. Okay, so in fact that's it. This is really a small booklet, and but we are still attached to it. And this is now it's rare. Regina has some copies, but it's really difficult to get it. It was only 300 copies printed. So that was this first two books. That was Sputnik Photo's childhood. Now I would like to talk about the project when we got more mature, more adult. This is project which ended up with this book. This is also a project about the country. And this is the first project when we didn't struggle with money. We applied for a grant, and the grant was quite generous. So, of course, we were limited, of course, but finally we could work in more decent conditions. We didn't need to economize on everything. We could work more or less like we wanted. So the project consisted on cooperations of five Polish photographers and 5 Icelandic writers who were invited to the project. And it was very simple. We were looking for topics. I mean, photographers were looking for topics for them, of course, in cooperation with writers. And we went to Iceland a few times, and we were shooting there. And at that time, in 2010, we were afraid of copying each other, because everybody started to shoot with negative, with Mamiya 7, and we were afraid somehow that we will come back with similar pictures. So, and at that time we also had a curator, so we thought about that in the very beginning. And so I think we solved somehow this problem by talking to him, and we choose different styles, and I think it worked somehow. Another problem was that we, of course, wanted to avoid cliches. We wanted to be original, we wanted to invent something really new, and of course we started to, well, the topics we chose, that was really cliches. But anyway, people, well, Icelandic people say that we were shooting cliches, but somehow in a visual way we avoided these cliches, so we are somehow also proud of it. And when we went there, we are not sure what to expect, because Iceland is very attractive. It's a lot of tourists go there. It's like exotic a little bit, and none of us was there before. And of course, we wanted to say something about this country, but we asked ourselves a question whether it's possible to answer the question how the country is, how it looks like, what this country is for its citizens. So this is also the title is about. We were struggling also about this title. Some of us liked it, some of us didn't. I didn't like it in the beginning, but now I do. So is also about this struggle. What this project is about? Is it about Iceland or it isn't? Is it about photographers or it isn't? Is it really about something, or it's only about us? So this is the cover. You can see it here. So. This is like a mirror reflection on both sides of the cover, and now we come to the book itself, to the inside of the book, and so you can see if it is Iceland or it is not. So the common thing for our project is this line here. So the curator thought it would be nice to have this common thing for every story. This is like for him it was like a line of the horizon. And the first picture, the first story is about elves. This is about people who thought they saw elves, which is probably common in Iceland, the elves. This is Adam Pańczuk, photographer, with Sindri Freyson, sorry, Icelandic writer. Elves. Elves, sorry, yeah, elves, yeah. Okay, so the next story is about isolation. Michał Łuczak, who is also a Sputnik photographer, was, well, thinking what is characteristic for Iceland, and Iceland, isolation, that were words which were appealing to him, so he was shooting about isolation. So he was traveling to very isolated farms, to western fjords, and, well, this is what he did. And another cliché is Jan Brekczyński's story about farmers, about farmers and sheep. This story is quite successful. Jan won an important prize for this story recently in Syngenta Award for documentary project, and he will work on something with a big amount of money. Okay, so this is my project, another cliché about water, about geothermal energy in Iceland. So I was, that was, for me, that was really wonderful time I spent in Iceland, and that was also a bit of, well, revolution, change in my thinking about photography, because I really saw that I don't need to be a photojournalist to say something about the world. And I was also enjoying this this country and my work there, because I was shooting this warm water, so I was shooting when I was inside this swimming pools. So it was really, it was incredible. Okay, so this is Rafał Milach's story about the ring road. In Iceland there is one decent road around the country, and he decided to travel with this by this road with writer Huldar Breitfjord, who wrote a book about such a travel a few years before. So they went together, and Rafał's story is a kind of a diary of this story. And Rafał, who is very keen on books, he published his own book, In the Car with R, In the Car with R, so In the Car with Rafał. And these are this Icelandic pictures and Huldar Breitfjord story. Okay, so this book was really successful. We didn't know at that time that we need to send this book to all these influential people, to the bloggers and to the photography magazine. We just had a strong promotion campaign on Facebook. We had a blog about this project, and we simply liked the project, but we didn't know that we didn't really realize that we started to work in a professional way, but people liked the book, and the book was sold out quite quickly, which was a nice surprise, because all these group projects, they are more difficult to sell, but we realized that there is some strength in our group, and then we can continue working like this. So we continued that way, and the next project and the next book I would like to show you is a book about, is completely different book. I mean, maybe the shape is a bit similar, but the theme, the topic is different. That was the book. The book is about Belarus. So this is so-called last dictatorship in Europe, and the idea came from our Belarusian friend Andrzej Jankiewicz, who wanted that, let's say, Western photographers cover Belarus. And of course we were happy when we found some money for this project. But and of course, and we so the way we worked was more or less similar, because it was one country and several photographers, but the country was so completely different than Iceland, and it was so much more difficult than Iceland, and so much less attractive than Iceland, that we really put a lot. We had to put a lot of energy into this project, and to solve all the problems connected with this project and the book, and to make it more or less understable. And finally, this is the book. So the first problem, the first question, issue was not to work with the headlines, not to work with all these news stories about the presidential elections. Well, of course, we expected change. It was just before the presidential election, and we expected some change. And even the working title of this project was Belarus Change. But finally, there was no change in Belarus. But we wanted to avoid this demonstrations, protests. Of course, we met people who were in this protest, who were demonstrating, but we wanted to show something more in depth, to show some more daily life, also something about ourselves and our relations with Belarus, because this is a close neighbor of Poland, and most of most of photographers involved in this project were Polish. There is no politics in this book. Well, we didn't want politics to be in this book, but somehow it is present here. You can judge it by yourself. I will say something more about the discussions about it later on. I will say a few words about each project right now. Um, sorry. So this is Goodbye Motherland, Andrei Ilyánkiewicz's story about Belarus and the Second World War. So this is also about Belarus identity, because a lot of because Belarus identity, the state identity, is based on the war. And well, for him, he says himself that war is nothing special to him, that he hears about the war every time. Well, all the streets, most of the streets in Minsk are named with war hero's name, but for him it's nothing special. But he wanted to investigate this war, this tradition of war in his country. So he was shooting these heroes of war with in a little bit unfocused, faded way. He was also, these are Google Street View of, these are streets which, and their names they are named with this war heroes' names. And there are a lot of pictures of objects connected with the war in the book, so so you can, well, take the book and see it. This project is somehow political. This is a connection of propaganda book and a protest book. Rafał Milach was shooting anti-Łukaszenka, anti-president slogans covered with fresh paint on the walls in Minsk. So these are these beautiful patterns on spreads in the book. But he was also shooting the winners of some stupid, well, stupid, maybe not stupid, contest, like contest for the best policeman, for the best guard dog, for the best bride, or for the best, I don't know, for the best milkmaid, or for the best forest man. He continues this project, so I think we can expect also a book about this propaganda. And they did it. I will show you the book and the small booklet inside. It looks like this. This is there is this small booklet sewed into the book. So there is a book in the book. This is Rafał Milach. This is Adam Pańczuk, the guy who was shooting elves in the last project. So here he was portraying well-dressed people in Minsk. He thought that Belarusian identity can be visible in this well-dressed, fashionable dressed people. This is my story about women veterans of the Second World War. I read Svetlana Alexievich's book, War Has No Womanly Face. I think this is the English title, about women who were fighting in the Second World War. There were quite a lot of them in the Soviet Empire, and I realized that these are last moment when I can meet them. And I found some of them in Belarus, and I was portraying them. And also there are some, there are stories in the on the neighboring pages. This is Manca Juvan, about immigration from Belarus to New York. And this is a very nice story about the primaveral forest of Jan Brykczyński. Jan came to Belarus and he wanted to shoot Puszcza Białowieska, a really huge forest which is in Poland and in Belarus, but he was stopped by KGB. He was shooting there like for 2 days, and somebody told to police or to KGB that there is a foreigner with a camera there. So they came to Jan and they told him politely, listen, okay, you can be here in Belarus, but you are not allowed to shoot near the border. So Jan applied well, Jan wanted to have a official agreement. Well, he wanted to have a document to be able to shoot there, but he didn't get it. And finally, he ended up in people's houses to shoot how the forest is shown in their houses. So this is in houses, in school, in official buildings. And Justyna, finally, Justyna Mielnikiewicz, whose story is about the marriage agency. There are agencies in Belarus where women who want to marry a foreigner can, can apply and they can choose somebody to marry and to leave Belarus forever. And this is the last page, because we were wondering if this image of Belarus is not too sweet, and so we decided to put Łukaszenka in TV picture in this on this last pages, and this is here. So in Poland, for example, it's read in a bit. Well, it's people at once see that this is Łukaszenka and that this is politics in here, but still. He's here, so we cannot forget where we are. And here is also the result of our discussions about this book, about this country, about the danger we put our heroes by publishing their names in context of dictatorship. This is the text of Wiktor Martinowicz, of the Belarusian writer, and surprisingly, he wrote it in Russian, not in Belarusian, so we had to translate it. And also there were some strong words about dictatorship in this text, so we were afraid of people who we were shooting, that we put them in the book near this dictatorship words. So we were asking ourselves, is it a danger for them or not? And so that was like a censorship in our heads. Finally, well, I don't remember what we decided, but there was a discussion about it. Okay, so the last group book, the most recent one, is also the most complicated, let's say, complicated one, and this is the book. Which also consists of several stories. There are 5 stories in the book, but there are also 5 booklets in one book, in one box. This is a story about Vistula River in Warsaw. We were asked by Copernicus Science Center to show this river, which is completely abandoned now, which is gray. This is not like, I don't know, Seine in Paris or other big rivers in big cities. It's really like the city is turned back to the river. It's changing now, so Copernicus wanted to document it also, how it looks now, in order to keep this image for next years, for next generations, and they asked Sputnik Photos to show it. And also there was a big opening of the new gallery with this project. So, and for us, it was like we had to discover this place, this river for us. We had to rediscover it for us, because most of us live in Warsaw. And we live quite close to the river, but we cross it every day almost. But this is the place which is really barely visible. So we had to think very hard how to show it, what to show, how to do it, how to rediscover it for ourselves and for our audience, of course, which are also people living in Warsaw, living close to the river. So this is the results of this rediscovery. These 5 books lovingly designed by Ania Nałęcka. This is the booklet of Rafał Milach. The title is about the man who jumped into the water. He was following the police, the river police, the guys who were looking for dead bodies in the river, and he was also following other services close to the river. So the book looks like this. This is really beautiful. he was also photographing objects found in the pockets of people found in the river. So this, for example, is one of the objects. And every booklet is on a different paper. This is my booklet. I was taking pictures of relationships between the river and the citizens about exchange of water. We take water from the river, we clean it, and then we drop it back to the river. So I was shooting all the places connected to this exchange, and it sounds a bit boring, but the way I was shooting it, I was shooting during the night. I was shooting nocturnes. So I wanted to show this way, that this process is mysterious. This is Michał Łuczak. This is a very nice story about homeless people living in the banks of the river. This is also about the forest at the banks of the river. So this is the third booklet. Jan Brykczyński, our friend who is shooting these disappearing worlds. And here he was shooting the guys who were still living at their boats. So this world is also disappearing. The river was once vivid and full of people, full of boats. Now it's empty and people left the banks. So he was portraying these people and these places who are still there. And these are our portrait specialist, Adam Pańczuk, who was portraying Warsaw citizens also at the banks of the river. A really beautiful, well-framed portraits. And here there is a magazine with the interviews with photographers. There are also some stories by some Polish writers, and this is like a treasure box. So this is like a box of treasure for next generations, or for people who have the book. Okay, so I will show you maybe, I don't know how much time do we have? We should finish shortly, and we will. So, these are our group projects. I have shown you all of them. These are our individual projects, so you can have a look at them as well. I have talked about Rafał Milach's book. There is my book as well. This is about fame and beauty contests and fashion and stuff. This is about Pagan in Belarus by Andrzej Liankiewicz, and this is also by Rafał Milach, a very beautiful book about Russia. And there is also somewhere this huge book of Michał Łuczak about the railway station in Katowice. Well, if it's not here, it's probably at the stand, okay? But another book, the last one, I wanted to show you. This is a very funny book and a bit different than the others. This is a book not with pictures of Sputnik Photos photographer. This is a book with pictures taken by children. So the title, we organized we organized a workshop for kids in 4 remote ends of Poland, in the south, in the north, in the east, in the west. We went there in group of photographers, and this, of course, we came back with hundreds, thousands of pictures taken by these kids, and we were surprised by the fresh eye of these kids, of the kids. Of course, we expected it somehow, but anyway, it was nice and funny and refreshing to see how they see their lives. And this is the book. This is like a film strip. It's like seeing images on a film. And to end this presentations, I will show you a short, so these are places. These are places where the workshop were held. I was here in the north. And to end this presentation, I will show you a short movie from the workshop. It's very short, really.
So one curator selected all the...
Yes, one curator, yeah. It was, one curator, Andrzej Kramasz from Fundacja Kultury Wizualnej. We even thought about the title. I don't know how to translate it in English. When we were working with kids, they were often coming to us and they told, "Oh, my flash card is over. I have no more place." So we wanted to give this title. I have no more place on my flash card. Well, but finally, the title is Wyliczanka, which is like 1-2 buckle my shoe, like this kids' poems. Okay, there was one more question. There was one question.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask about the projects from Ireland. As far as I know, every photographer was closely working with a writer from Ireland. So how did you select, how did you find these writers, and how did each of the photographers work with them? Because I know that it also, like the way the approach of collaboration each time differed.
So there are a lot of good writers in Iceland. But we have a friend from Iceland who used to live in Poland, and we contacted her to advise us whom to choose. And she contacted an Icelandic poet who finally worked with me. And this Icelandic poet, Sigurbjörg Trastardóttir, she chose other writers, and we were, and then we were making pairs by instinct, by topics. So, but we didn't know the works of these Icelandic writers because we don't speak Icelandic. So that was really that was risky a little bit, but it worked. Yes. Yeah, but maybe I can hear. You have a question, right? No. Okay. That was not an easy experience because Sigurbjörg is a poet. She is also a journalist, but she wrote a beautiful piece of poetry to this water project. But there is also a practical side of this cooperation, and that was tough because she knew all the places I wanted to go to. And she was not really willing to. She was traveling with me, but I think she was not really happy to travel so much. So when I came back to Iceland next time, I was traveling myself. I knew these places already, so I hired the car and I traveled myself. But she showed me a lot, and I'm really happy with the poetry she wrote to this water project. And I think I will continue this water story next year. So maybe we can publish something together. Okay. Any more questions? No. We have a great coordinator, and she was looking for partners in these villages, and the partners were like village libraries or village culture centers. They were giving the announcement there will be a workshop for kids from, I don't know, 6 to 10 or 7 to 12, and this is how the kids came. And that was during the holidays, so that was all the kids who are not going somewhere for holidays, they could come in the village, so it worked. And we will repeat this workshop this year. It will be a bit different. We will be looking for archives in the villages with kids. But that was a good experience, so we are going to work that way this year too.